Hi, Mark here. It's Monday, May the 25th, 9:20 a.m. Eastern. US session well underway. Uh, just to point out that it is a public holiday in the US, Memorial Day. Stock markets are closed. So trading is definitely thinner today, illiquid, which could make for some sharp moves, but definitely a quieter day in the markets. But let's see how the US dollar is shaping up for the new week, last week of May of the trading month. US dollar index gap down to start the new week. You can see from closing last week at 99.26 and then opened the new week at 98.97, just below that 99 level. We'll see if that does continue through the US session. If we see dollar weakness, US dollar being sold off and the index continue moving lower, support at 98.84, and that's the level sellers will be looking to test, break below. I've got resistance at 99.03. Buyers will look to get back to that 99 level or higher. But weak US dollar to start the new trading week. And we'll see how that does play out. Let's have a look at the majors. The euro against the US. And there you see a gap higher to start the new trading week. That's buying euro, selling US dollar. So US dollar weakness that we saw in the index. Same thing against the euro. I've got support at 116.28. I've got resistance at 116.49. That's the level buyers will be looking to test if we see continued dollar weakness. If we get a turnaround from dollar weakness to dollar strength, sellers will look to bounce down off this resistance and look down at the 116.28 support level. US dollar against the pound. And there also gap higher to start the new week. Enough of a gap higher for EMAs to cross to the upside as well. I've got support at 134.69. I've got resistance at 135.06. Buyers will look to maintain at the 105, break higher than the 135 on the upside. If we get a turnaround from weak to strong US dollar, sellers of pound, buyers of US will look to bounce down off this resistance, looking back down at the support level. US dollar against the Canadian. Slightly weak US dollar here, but certainly US dollar holding its own against a weak yen. I've got support at 158.72. I've got resistance at 159.04. If we see continued dollar weakness against the yen, sellers will look to test this support level. Hasn't been able to break below the support level last week. Bounced up off the support level already today, and we'll see if US dollars, if we get a turnaround from US dollar weakness to strength, and buyers do look to test this 159.04 resistance level. Tough level. We know that 159 is a difficult level for buyers to break above and even to break, let alone maintain. We'll see how that plays out during today's US session. And then let's have a look at the US against the Canadian. We had strong US dollar, unable to hold on. Resistance at 138.19. I've got support at 137.96. Doji-like candlestick for now. So after the gap lower to start the new week, US dollar weakness, just like we've seen on the other majors. For now, that's exactly where it's sitting. Sellers will look down at the 137.96. Sellers of US, buyers of Canadian will look below the 138 level, test the support level, whereas buyers of US, sellers of Canadian, if we do get a turnaround from weak to strong US dollar, buyers will look to maintain above the 138 and looking up at the 138.19 resistance level. So even though it is not a regular trading day in terms of Memorial Day in the US, and the markets will be more liquid, Nonetheless, we are seeing a weak US dollar to start the new week. We'll see if that continues or if the US dollar does fight back during the US session. We have our support and resistance levels to work with. Good trading, and I'll see you at the end of day.